Hey, so I want to make a response to Avid Diva or Divine Diva 71 regarding her video about narcissistic people and how they are. Now, this is her daughter speaking, and I want to touch on this topic because I have had multiple narcissistic people in my life because I didn't know the technical term for people who behave that way. But as I got older, I was like, wait a minute. This is the term I've been looking for this whole time. People that trying to manipulate you into thinking that you're the bad person, but in reality, or that they make it seem like you're the issue, but in reality, it's them the issue. Because I've worked with people like this before. I have relatives that are like this. For example, she mentioned in the video about my father, who I agree with 100% that he is a narcissist, because every time he would bring up a topic, he would share his opinion about it. I would share my opinion about it. If I don't agree to what he says, or if I'm not on the same page of what he says, he would get upset and he would turn back on me and make it seem like he would accuse me of hurting him or trying to what did he say to me one time? He said I was trying to hurt him because I shared my own opinion about a topic. It was actually about social media. And he said I need to keep it to myself. And I bend over backwards to disagree with everything he says. I'm like, wait a minute. I'm like, hold on. I'm reading his message. I'm like, is he playing these same games with me? He's been playing with me for years. This doesn't make any sense. And he always accuses me of trying to hurt his feelings, and it's like, if I'm not on the same page, if I don't jump on his bandwagon, he will say that I don't love him. It's just all this manipulative stuff. And then he had the nerve to say how I was responding in emotion. But didn't you initially do the same thing to me? How you gonna sit here and send me a message talking about, I thought about it all last night and this morning, and you're gonna send me a message like that? So you don't think you did the same to me? Like, really? And my thing is, you bought the emotion out of me by basically sending me that manipulative message. And then he's gonna conclude with, well, I can't love someone who doesn't love me back after I'm telling you about how you are. I said that's just being very manipulative. You're trying to turn around on me and make it seem like I'm the one who's don't have any feelings, or don't care about you, don't love you, or whatever. I just share my opinion about social media, and you're gonna sit here and turn it back on me and trying to turn this into this, conspiracy. Like, okay, I have to agree with everything you say. I have to be interested in everything you do. So is that what you're basing our relationship on? If I don't like the same stuff you like, or if I don't agree with everything you say, then what's the point of having a relationship? Is that what it is now? Is that what it is? But yeah, my mom, she wasn't wrong about my father at all. She wasn't. And then two, I had a coworker at my previous job. She was in her 70s, and I also sensed like very narcissistic behavior from her, because it's like she would do something to antagonize you, and then once you don't crumble, or once you didn't like bow down to her, oh, she'll flip it back on you. She will play the victim. She will flip it back on you to make it seem like you did something wrong. And she always play the victim. Whatever she did something, she'll receive write-up for it, but she'll flip the finger around and put the blame on the other person. She took no accountability for Anything she said, anything she did. She was there for 2 years before they terminated her. And she was someone who I worked closely with, but I believe when we had a new manager, I believe that's when she really started to get out of place, because I feel like she was trying to show her behind in front of this new manager. Now, this new manager we had, the other manager we had, she was a white woman. She left, and we had a new manager who was a black woman. And I felt like this older coworker of mine, she was trying to show her behind in front of this new black manager, because I guess she felt, well, let me, since we have a new manager, let me like override her and show her who's boss. But she really wasn't the boss. She was just she was doing the same job I was doing, but she was trying to be the boss, but she really wasn't. And the thing about it, this woman, she claimed to have 30 plus years of managerial experience. That's probably why she was so, militant and bossy towards everybody, even though that wasn't in her position. But, and people wanted to use her age as an excuse. My thing is too, everybody who's that age or not, they keep themselves together. They don't behave in that way. So I just think people were just making excuses for this woman. And like I said, I worked beside her for 2 years, and she drove me crazy. It's like whenever she had issues with another coworker, and she'll tell me the stories, but she'll tell me as if she was the victim and the other person was, the bad guy. But after I hear the other person's side of the story, and it makes more sense to me. Yeah, whenever I hear their side of the story, their story makes more sense. And then too, I knew how she was. She was, the one who was bossy and liked to overstep and liked to make snide comments. And whenever somebody said something to her, she wanted to play victim, or she wanted to threaten to smack somebody. I'm like, first of all, this is the workplace. It's not, the streets. You can't be threatening to smack people, but just because they refuse to bow down to you. Like, who are you for people to bow down to you? But yeah. And after 2 years of complaining, she decided to quit, but then she wanted to backtrack and come back to work. But I already put it out there to our manager and to other people that I was not going to put up with her behavior anymore. So after she came back, I left her alone. And I chose to keep my distance from her, because I feel like she was toxic. She was draining. All she did was complain. All she did was micromanage. All she did was, made those stupid comments. And all she did, and yeah, that's another thing. All she did was play victim. Like I said, she'll do something. She'll deceive people. She'll, say something out of the way to people. And then whenever somebody didn't show her the respect that she felt like she deserved, that's when she wanted, run back to the manager and say, well, this person trying to make everybody else look bad. But it was really her. She was making herself look bad. She was making herself look like a fool. Yeah. That's what I mean. It's like, why do I have to be the one to be surrounded by toxic people? And going back to my father, it's like he accused me of the things that he's actually guilty of. For example, when he says that I played a victim, but he's the one who's constantly accusing me of not loving him or trying to hurt him, or he feel that I don't appreciate him and all this. So you're the one who's saying all these things, but I'm the one who's playing the victim, really? Or he claims that I don't love him, yet whenever I don't agree with him about something, or whatever, I'm not on the same page as him about something, he would ghost me. He would shut down on me. And whenever I reach out to him, he doesn't respond. But I'm the one who doesn't love him. Now, what sense did that make? It makes none whatsoever. That's what I mean. He's projecting his own insecurities onto me, and I got to the point now, since I'm in my 30s, I'm pretty much done because I know the type of games that he's trying to play with me, and it's exhausting. It really is. I'm too old to be dealing with somebody and their emotions and try to babyfy someone. I'm not going to continue doing that. And that's exactly what he wants. He wants a yes person. He wants a yes man. You think he's going to get that from me, but he's really not. He's not getting a yes man from me. It's like I feel like he's the one being disrespectful by constantly shutting down on me because I have my own thoughts. I have my own mind. My thing is, he should be really proud to have a daughter who has her own mind. It's not about outsmarting someone. It's about having a decent conversation, sharing opinions, and that's it. Move on. But no, he rather shut down like a big kid and trying to flip it back on me to make it seem like I did something totally wrong just because I shared my opinion about something. And it reminds me of how my aunt was back in 2020 when I made a post about how the year sucked. And she responded back with, wow. I wanted to respond so bad, like, what do you mean by wow? And she mentioned something about how we have to be more optimistic and whatever happens in the world, it's our fault and all that. See, that's what I mean. Whenever I share my opinion about something, I always get attacked for it. It's like people want me to keep hush-hush about how I feel about things. And my thing is, this is how I feel. And 2020 was a horrible year. From COVID to, explosions that happened in that year. Come on now. They knew 2020 was a jacked up year. But no, it's like these people want to shut me down and want to dog me out for having my own opinion. But no one is going to silence me. No one. Not even my own father. If he wants to shut down on me again, because the last time I heard from him was actually around Valentine's Day. So if you want to shut down on me again over a conversation about television or whatever, then my thing is, so be it. I have nothing to do with your emotions at all. Nothing. This message to my father. Nothing. So yes, my mom, she wasn't wrong at all. But I'm gonna sign this video off, and I may do another one. I may not. I don't know. I just wanted to put this out there because I wanted to respond so bad to my mother about narcissistic people, how they are. Yeah. So, all right, guys.